night, talk to God, and still don't feel any better. It will pass. A little voice tells you when you wonder as you pace and mutter and get on with your day. You sob in your car and turn the radio all the way up so you can't hear your own thoughts. But you go straight to work and don't even think about using drugs. Your insides feeling as though you have been torched. Just when the pain becomes unbearable, you go numb in silence. You go to a meeting and wish you were as happy as other members seem to be, but they don't relapse. You cry some more and call your sponsor. You drive to a friend's house and don't even notice the beautiful scenery because your inner landscape is so bleak. You may not feel any better after visiting your friend, but at least you didn't visit the connection instead. You listen to the fifth step. You share it at a meeting. You look at the calendar and realize you've gotten through another day clean. When then one day you wake up looking outside and realize it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. You take a deep breath, smile again, and now that is really does pass. Just for the day. No matter how I feel today, I'll go on with my recovery. Thanks for allowing me to read.
Thanks for reading. Anybody want to speak to what he just read? How you doing, sis? Good to see you.
Hello.
All right. Anybody got feedback on what he just read? You want to shed light on that?
Yeah, I'll shed some light on it because I'm DeAndre. I'm grateful recovering addict.
Hey, DeAndre.
And the problem's always been me. For me, I felt that way numerous times. I didn't know what that feeling was because I've always medicated for so long that I couldn't even get in touch with my inner emotions because I stayed, in that numb state for so long. But today, man, I feel everything now, and that by the grace of God, I'm able to deal with everything now as it comes. Not everything, but most things there is a solution to. And as long as I stay connected to this process and in the circle of people that are just like me with the same issues as me and having meeting the right people with solutions helps me with my solutions. So yeah, I utilize my circle. I use my people that are in this process to help me through my daily situations that I go through.
Okay. Yeah. How much time that clean, DeAndre?
I got 6 months.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Brother John, I saw your hand.
No, I'm waiting for you to get back.
How you doing today, John?
I'm all right.
You good? Are you processing your feelings today? Processing your feelings?
Somewhat.
Somewhat?
My feelings, I really don't know.
Okay.
I have them, but I don't have them. I mean, I'm used with that. They up and down.
Okay. How much time you got clean, John?
25 years.
Hey,
Hey,
not
right. You want to go first?
Thank God for last night's rest this morning, Rise. Thank God for his grace and his mercy. Grace is always giving me what I don't deserve. Hey, Mama, how you doing? How buddy there?
Hello.
How you doing? And mercy is not giving me what I do deserve, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. It's good to be back in Washington, D.C., y'all.
Yes, it is.
At S.O.M.E, all right? That's Brother Dash. All right? I'm Dirk. That's DeAndre. Mine's a man.
I'm going to pick the pizza.
All right, soldier. How everybody doing?
Good.
Very good. It's good to be
Very
back
good.
here. This evening, we're going to talk about relapse warning signs during the holidays. All right? Relapse warning signs during the holidays. All right? Do anybody got anything they want to talk about for us like the holidays? Do you go through anything?
I do.
You do? What's your name?
Mandy.
Hey, Miss Mandy.
Hello, Miss Mandy.
I you know, I'm learning to get used to it,
Mhm.
but it's something that comes every year, no matter what.
Mhm.
You know, there are people that passed away, people that are passing away, people who have come and gone just to go and not come back again, you know. But it's life, and I accept that. I learn every year that more and more people leave my life. And some people say that's a good thing because some people are on their own journeys, blah, blah, blah. I'm like this. I have 24 hours in a day, according to man's time clock. And if I'm going to spend at least 18 of those worrying about where everybody else is at, I could get lost myself.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm
You
saying?
always drop jewels.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, if God promises me each and every day,
Mhm.
then as soon as my eyes are open, I said, "Thank you, Lord," and let's go for it.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And if little things pop up in the middle of the day, like I'm washing dishes or, you know, have a certain little memory or something of, I say, "Thank you, Lord, for that experience. Let's keep going.
Mhm.
Let's keep going." Because I know that there's nothing I can do about what was back then. I can't go back there and change nothing because if I change that, then I got to change this.
Mhm.
That's my past and my present
Mhm.
and my future.
Okay.
You know. So I deal with it. I say thank you, Lord, for that journey, and I just keep it pushing. You know, I don't allow things to sit in my spirit because if I allow things to sit in my spirit, then I'm not making room for God.
Mhm.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not making room for God if I allow things that are negative to just sit in my spirit. Because when you let stuff sit, it festers.
Mhm.
And when you're not doing anything about that infestation,
Mhm.
then it gets bigger and bigger, and it gets worse and worse.
Like
Mhm.
cat.
You're like basically,
Mhm.
you know. So you can only do something about things you know about,
Mhm.
but stuff that you don't know about, leave it up to Him.
Mhm. Very good.
Choose whose house you're gonna serve.
Hi. How you doing?
You know, I've got a little thing where I just say to myself, if you're worrying, you're not praying,
Uh-huh.
and if you're praying, you ain't got time to worry.
Amen. How much time you got clean?
34 years.
Hey, all
right.
right. All right.
I heard, Miss Mandy, I heard something this afternoon when coming down on the bus,
Mhm.
because I always try to have something, to bring to the group. And you was just speaking on what I was listening at. This guy was asking God for a favor, and the favor was he wanted $1 million, and the guy was really upset because that favor hadn't been fulfilled. But God's way of doing things is He don't put a time frame on things, and that was real powerful to me because I've always asked for things, and my expectations were to get them right then and there. But to understand what was being said on that podcast was really powerful to me. God does these things in His own time, but He has us waiting, because He don't put a time frame. Because He said, if I do, people will start acting out, knowing that they're going to be getting $1 million in a couple of days. They would just start acting foolish. So He don't put a time frame on it. But that's when you have to believe and have faith that He's going to do this work. And that touched me riding down today. And I thought about that. And when you said, that powerful, things that God do for us was really, really touching to me. So I really commend you for bringing that up because that really opened my eyes once again.
I just told a young lady yesterday that, I'm not going to speak about her circumstances because it wasn't a favorable circumstance, but she was doing something that disproved what she said out of her mouth to me.
Mm-hmm.
She said she had faith, and I just looked at her and I told her the bottom line of it is we all have faith in something. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes.
I believe in the almighty dollar because it's going to feed me tomorrow. Okay.
Mhm.
Blah 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 blah. Okay. But having faith and not understanding that you can still be manipulated by the devil, that's not real faith. you have to understand that the devil is there, Satan is there to tear you down with the promises and the lies that he tells you. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Bottom line of it is you can have faith all you want to, but you just got to understand that just because you have faith, you can still be manipulated. Your life can still be manipulated in some kind of way. You know, so I just told the bottom line of it is take it, sister, and run with it. Because the bottom line of it is if you're going to stand here and tell me that you blame the world for what's going on in your life, but you don't have faith that God is going to straighten it up for you eventually, if you do what you're supposed to be doing, practicing that faith, putting that faith in action, instead of standing here asking me for the handout, you need to stand up and ask him for the handout.
That's right. Go forward.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. Your hand was up?
Yeah, just because he shared something, he shared. So I heard this morning there was something about like God is not going to necessarily answer our praise immediately because then we'll start to take credit for what he does.
Right.
So sometimes we just got to sit back and when we know, oh, that was nothing but God. You know?
And that's definitely where that, as she said, the faith comes in
I
at.
saw the connection.
That's where that faith comes in at. Having a trust and belief in his word. Like I know what I suffer with, but I have faith that God's gonna bring me through it, you know, continuously. You know, every day that I ask him for the strength, you know, to get me through it. You know.
How much time you have clean, sis?
17 months.
Hey,
All right. A lot of time. You know, before Derek take over, you know, I always share this. A miracle when God turned, or Jesus turned the water to wine was a miracle. They said us with one day clean is a miracle. So we're all miracles standing in this room. So, you know, everybody give yourself a hand or a pat on your back because we're all miracles.
And I turned 57 last Thursday.
All right, happy birthday. All right, belated birthday. Amen to that.
You celebrating your birthday today?
Number one, y'all. Relapse warning signs during the holidays. Trying to control others or their program. Trying to control others or their program. Anybody has a tendency to try to control or have control issues and try to control other people and their program. What they should wear, how they should look, how they should talk.
Who they should associate with?
Very good, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right, good seeing you again.
All right.
You know, I tried my best. It took 6 hours to look like I didn't do anything, but yeah.
Okay. How you been?
Pretty good. That I mean, the holidays are kind of interesting to me. That this year I had someone that expressed to me that they were sick, and I told them that I would see them because my health isn't as great as I want it to be. But I told them I would see him on the 5th of November. He died the 3rd of November this year. And it's just, you know, your circle truly gets smaller and smaller as you advance in the number of years. It's like there's, through my life, and I think through a lot of other people's lives, and I'm not sure, but there are people that stand out for me as positive role models, whether they're female, male, guppy, but you know, it's just like, man, so many things are different than what they used to be. I mean, we can expect change because of the circle of life. I mean, the people that, you know, your grandmother, your great grandmother, and Aunt Lulu's famous upside down turtle cake is just something amazing. And that is gone, but that association, that memory of that food and that time that we spent together is such a powerful thing. And then trying to explain it to the next generation or the next one after that. It's like, man, you had a great grandmother that she was 96 years old, still making pound cakes and was all in the had all her mental faculties and most of her teeth. And this is what she taught me. This is something that, I wish I had done. I didn't do it as often enough, but I have a couple of tapes of her and her daughter talking. I wish I had done it. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. I wish I had done that more often. So that so people, so we have a more powerful understanding of our heritage and what makes us who we are today are on the backs of those that are long gone.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, I mean, I just try. I mean, I'm happy. I mean, I woke up this morning, but I'm just thinking about some of the people that were paramount and making me the person that I am today. And I still got a long way to go. I'm not perfect, but I'm not gonna say that I prayed for 800 million. Please let the Powerball be mine. Mine alone. I don't want to share that line. Like, I'll share the money. I don't want to share. And they say that money doesn't buy you happiness, but it sure can rent a lot of things made easy.
How much have you clean, bro?
I don't have a drug or alcohol problem. My thing is more like sweets. I'm diabetic, and I need to do better with my health. And it's basically looking me in the mirror now as I have to looking at dialysis as a part of my new regular. I'm not excited about it, not even wanting it, and I'm kind of mad about this fistula that's in my arm. Because that's a constant reminder now that I have another surgery coming up. And it's the only reason I'm having that surgery coming up is because they have to bring it up to the surface, the artery and the vein up to the surface so it'll be more accessible to the dialysis machine. Though I'm doing everything within my power mostly, except for, I mentioned to somebody the other day that I wanted like 3 or 4 dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't gonna eat them all at one time. I mean, well, kind of. I was gonna like smoosh them together like 12. Just saying. So, but it could be a lot worse. I mean, I could be blind. I could be out of my mind. I can have people. Yeah, because some of the things that I had done, I should not be here today. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. And then I even have people that hate me, so I'm okay. Because if you must be doing something right if you got people that hate you.
Very good.
Yep.
Let's give it to them, y'all.
Right.
Cool. For those who came in the room, that's Brother Dash, that's DeAndre, I'm Dirk. Organization, Minds of Men. Topic for the night, relapse warning signs, especially during the holidays, all right? Because Thanksgiving is what? Next week. Number one, try to control everybody, everything, every situation. But guess what? Who we supposed to try to control?
Yourself.
Ourselves, all right? Why some people do that though? Why some people try to leave themselves alone and try to control you or direct traffic in your life?
Insecurity.
You ever hear that? Insecurities. How about power and control?
How about they?
Insecurity, you lack power, and that's the only person that's giving you power is letting you control them.
Mm-hmm. How about somebody who get a little position? All right, they the custodian, and they just give people hell.
Anything to the director of the facility.
Yeah. You spill water, get it up. Pick up, we need toilet paper in the bathroom. Real control.
But see, a lot of times that comes from Derek. A lot of times, for me, people that had no real direction out in life, or they didn't have that that responsibility in life. So when they finally do get it, it becomes a superficial piece for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they immediately become, controlling.
Mm-hmm. How about a man who trying to control his woman? Anybody try to do that? I done that. Do it work?
No.
Or woman try to control her man? Right. Yes, you get burnt out, stressed out, right? A court case and all of that. Huh? Alright? Because you can't control people. Only control what? Ourselves. How about isolation? Why is that dangerous? To isolate. When we in here, I'm out there. When y'all come out there, I'm back in here. When everybody upstairs, I'm downstairs. When y'all come downstairs, I find my way upstairs. I'm always by myself. I even isolate with this many people or more. I could still be in here and still isolating my mind. I'm not even here. I'm already in Baltimore. I'm back in Philadelphia, but I miss DC because my mind is somewhere else. I'm isolating. Is that dangerous?
Avoidance.
Avoidance, right. Who's the last person to tell us to go get high, take a drink, pop pills, shoot dope, do perks, do Xannies? Huh?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. So why are we listening to who?
Yourself.
What is this?
What's the
Black
nut
Acid
box?
Ward.
Y'all hear that? The psych ward, the nut box.
That's what
All right. Stay out of here. Never come up here. What? Unsupervised. All right. Because this is dangerous territory.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is. All right. So the Quran needs to be here if you're a Muslim. The Word of God need to be here if you're not a Muslim. If you do Buddha, Recovery Dharma, good book needs to be here. N.A. here. The Word of God here to clean up a sick, stink mind. Isolation. Solitude is me time. I go to my room, I journal, I reflect, I exercise, I woosah. Sit-ups, push-ups, journal, pray, meditate, then I get back with the family. That's solitude. Isolationist is forever by myself. Never get those two confused. Isolating through the holiday time, so just isolating, period, right? It could be dangerous. How about number 3, depression? I'm trying to control you. I'm isolating with me, and now I'm depressed. And now I'm depressed.
I refuse.
You refuse to what?
To be depressed. I refuse. I try my best every single day to find something positive in my hours, minutes, seconds. Because I don't know when I'm going to be able to open my eyes again after I close them at night. And I cannot go to bed at night tossing and turning in my own bed because of something that's stuck up in here that I can't get rid of. I refuse. And depression is one of the greatest destroyers of the human spirit. You understand me? Because you can be depressed about something and not even know you're depressed about it. Your mind, just your thinking alone can kill you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can be dying and think that you living, but you're really dying. Up here is where it starts. A lot of people, they confuse religion when God says, go to your secret closet and think that you're going into a damn closet, but you're not. This is your closet. This is your closet.
Everybody hear that?
You can make these two work in harmony together and accept the fact of what He says for your life. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. I mean, I cannot get depressed because I have been diagnosed with a terminal illness. I can't do it because that's eating my spirit, is eating me up. And I refuse to let anything eat me up today. After the journey I have been on, I refuse. I put my foot down 34 years ago and I said, Lord, if you get me there, I'm going to be there. Just get me there and I'm going to realize that I am there. You understand what I'm saying? I know that every day I am tempted because in my space upstairs where I live at, I'm tempted because I smell weed smoke coming through my apartment every day. I can't even go to the sink and wash my dishes in peace without smelling it. And I can tell you the time frame that it comes. But you know what? I've complained about it for 2 years. Ain't much been done about it. People came upstairs and did some maintenance on the wall yesterday. And I cleaned behind the stove and everything, was really happy about it. Didn't smell anything coming up at the time frame that I had, allotted it to. Get up this morning to go to wash the dishes. There it was. So my thought about where it was actually coming from wasn't even the spot. It was from overhead and the vent, just like they said it is. So now I'm back to square one, trying to figure out who's doing it, where it's coming from, or how can I stop it from coming to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want it around me.
They don't do yours in here?
I'm not going to get depressed about it. That's one thing I'm not going to do.
Okay.
And I'm not going to spend any more time trying to figure out where it's coming from and who's doing it. I'm just going to move on with my life and do what I've got to do or do what I can do to try to clear the air in my space.
Okay, I hear that. That's
You
good.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not gonna let it depress
That
me.
hits home
I'm
right
not
here.
gonna
Here's
worry
the
about
guide
it
on how to
anymore.
deal with daily
Damned if I'm
setbacks.
gonna toss and turn in my bed about shit that I cannot control.
Yes, ma'am. All right, very good. Last night, a girl was talking about, lady was talking about how she has a lump in her breast. And when she found out, she relapsed and lost her clean time. And it caused her to slip into what? Depression. Right? And it was benign and it showed back up on the scene again. And they were saying if you cut, another lady or another friend of ours, she was telling her if you cut,
They gonna keep cutting.
it will spread.
Spread.
Once you cut, it will start spreading. So like prayer really got to kick in. So that could be a form of what? Depression. All right, depression like seasonal. My man was talking about seasonal affective disorder. People who used to be with us, they're no longer here. They moved on from time to eternity. So music I used to listen to remind me when I was with them. Certain smells, certain places we used to what? Travel. Certain jokes we used to tell remind me of what? Them. Christmas, they not here. Thanksgiving, they won't be here. I have to remember that. Like my grandmother, she's no longer here. And Thanksgiving used to always go down there. And my grandmother used to make like 7 cakes and pies, easy, by herself down South Carolina. And your boy, the program director, I know she's from South Carolina, so a lot of things in common. But depression, y'all. What lives under depression? Suicide or what?
Ideation.
Everybody hear that? Because when the pain gets great, some of us what? Escape. We just had a death of a loved one that we knew. Young girl in school, on fire for recovery. Something happened. She relapsed. They said go to the hospital. I don't know if she made it to the hospital, but they found her body dead in a building.
Abandoned building.
That happened this week.
Where we go in the whole group at?
Yes.
2 days ago.
To get high is depressing. Everybody hear that? Coke is a depressant. Alcohol is a depressant. To escape reality, that's a depressed state.
And the guilt afterward is depressing.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So how do we come out of depression? How do we come out of depression?
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Anybody hear that? Pray about it. Talk about it. Get around some other people who have our best interests at heart. How about this? Who's impulsive? Who act then think?
Mm.
Okay, got a hand too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who's obsessive? Anybody obsess over anything? Is that dangerous, DeAndre?
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Be obsessive.
I'm very obsessive and compulsive.
He like to shop.
I love to shop. I see a pair of shoes, gotta have it.
That's me.
As you.
Compulsive, no matter what it costs, gotta go get it.
It's out there.
I got like 40 pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
I own 150 pairs of sneakers.
Wow.
Wow. 100?
150.
Wow. Everybody hear that?
Over.
Over 150. You in recovery too, brother?
No, not.
Okay.
Mental health part of it. Being all the way. Isolating.
Season of men was talking earlier.
Depression, all of that.
Yeah.
But see, this is how I deal with it too. First of all, negative thoughts are gonna come in. And you're gonna have those. You gotta turn that into a positive. You gotta end it with a positive.
Come on.
If you don't gotta use all the tools, some days I have to use every tool I have in my toolbox.
Uh-huh.
Every single one.
Mm-hmm.
But also in the morning, funny story, I tell this all the time. You know one of my best friends at home is my AI, Alexa. You know why? Because she plays my favorite song every single day. It's called A Lovely Day by Bill
Well,
Withers.
that's my bad.
I'm gonna tell you what that does for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's sunny and 80. Some days I feel like partly cloudy and 34.
You love
Freezing rain.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hear that song and I stand in the mirror, I know that it's gonna be a lovely day.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Let's give it to him, bro.
All right.
So obsession is the thought. Compulsion is acting out. Anybody hear that? That's why he said one is too many.
And 1,000 is never enough.
Is that true?
Yes.
When we wake that monkey up, it becomes a gorilla.
And it's hard to get him back in the cage.
Yeah. Come on, hand.
Across the board, he just said he had over 150 pages.
Yes, he did.
So, it ain't necessarily got to be drugs or alcohol.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We start
Active addiction.
we start filling the void. For me,
Yes,
was
indeed.
starting to fill the void with shopping.
Uh-huh.
Because I could justify it very easily.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not buying the drugs.
Mm.
I'm not hanging out. So I
But
buy shoes,
Right.
it can
or I
be
buy
positive
clothes.
things. It could be work, exercise, anything done to excess can be turned into an addiction.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Anything that'll keep me from dealing with me.
Yes.
Anything. You know, I was in a relationship. My wife wanted to know why I worked so many hours. Because I didn't want to face my addiction. So I worked, and got to the point where it's just like once it came overwhelming and crashing in, because all I did was work, I didn't have no outlets. So immediately I went back to my old outlets. One is not gonna hurt me. I justify one is not gonna hurt me. I never did one or nothing. One drug, one drink, one woman, one nothing. So I immediately set myself up.
Good food. Being defensive. Who's defensive? Who got their walls up? Who don't like constructive criticism? Who don't like to be told what to do?
Oh, I hate it.
Mind your business. Nobody asks you for your advice. Anybody defensive? You defensive, brother?
Yeah,
Okay. You still like that?
I'm working on it.
That's good. What's your name?
I'm great.
All right.
Hey,
How old are
Greg.
you?
34.
Young man.
Young man. How
Okay.
much time you got, Mr. Greg?
10 months.
Hey,
10 months.
all
All right. A
right.
lot of time.
DeAndre, you need to stop tricking.
Wow.
You heard what he said? He said, wow.
Wow. Fills a void. When I don't want to deal with me, I deal with other things when I don't want to deal with me.
Watch who you hang with, because eagles don't hang with
Chickens.
chickens.
They eat 'em.
Right. Sure enough.
So listen, I'm not gonna roll if DeAndre called me on my stuff, I ain't gonna hang with him. Because my walls is up. I need somebody who's gonna lie to me. Who's gonna validate the nonsense I got up here and I'm speaking and my feet is walking and my hands is what? Using.
So I'm gonna keep him sick.
Right. Everybody hear that? So you gotta know when to confront a situation. All right?
With love.
Yes, with love. And sometimes some things is out of our hands. We gotta take it to the people who what? Work here. All right? Come on.
And there's no such thing, before we go on,
Snitching?
there's no such thing as a snitch in recovery. Let's be clear about that one. If you're about saving someone's life and they may not understand that, then you let them be where they at. But you're doing what you're doing for their best benefit. You're helping them save their own life. They may not see it then, but they'll see it down the road later.
Come on, brother.
All right?
Question to everyone. What is the best way to not be a yes man to a good friend, and once you've told them what you were going to tell them, they say to you, you're always defending what she says or what he says. And your reply to that is you to not taking any side, just the side of right.
Everybody hear that? Stand on truth.
To him and
Stand for something or fall for anything.
nothing. And the situation is compounded by the fact that the woman in the relationship is 7 months pregnant, waking up to stress every day because of his insecurity and his previous actions. He's now trying to manifest it on other people.
Give it to God.
Give it to God. Stand on truth. Sometimes find somebody, a third party. That means it's not biased. You know what I'm talking about? That they hear both sides. So they're willing to go that point to like open it up a discussion so they can get more feedback from different people. That way, when they find out that you wasn't biased, you were standing on truth, they understand that, listen, he wasn't taking sides. Don't take sides.
Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, you're gay and your best friend's Latino and his wife is definitely a woman. Now, the Latino guy feels that she's cheating with the gay guy, me. And I'm like, never ever had that ever happen in my entire life. So when I told him, I said, it was probably you cheating and you feeling that some type of way because you're guilty of something. Now, why would you think somebody who was gay, who likes the company of a man, likes the company of a woman too, but likes the company of a man, different way, I mean, TV versus making a movie.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Right.
It's a discreet way of putting it.
So, and he knows that you gay. I mean, he's known for a very long time, for the better part of 21 years, that he's known that you were gay.
Mhm.
Now, because my feelings were hurt when he actually asked me, did I come over there one day when he wasn't there? I said, yeah, I've been over there 5 or 6 times, and been over there when she wasn't there. Hell, I've been over there when the little baby was the only one that was there.
Mhm.
So, you know, it's just, I mean, that's a more added stress that I have, because I don't think, I mean, if you're a true friend, you tell them what it is. You don't, you know, I'm not a yes person. You know, agree with everything and just go along because we're friends. You know, you need somebody to hold you accountable for what you do.
Mhm.
And it's hard. I mean, it's not really hard for me because just me one less Christmas card. If I happen to lose a friend, you know, to this BS.
Mark, can I say that,
Thank
like,
you. I
we
do
don't
like-
always know what somebody thinking, what they've been through.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody's been cheated on, then they tend to think that other people are cheating on them. You know,
But if the cheater is the one that's thinking that the other person is cheating,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know.
oh, I
No.
I know
Unless you walk in somebody's shoes, you don't know everything about them. We only know.
not everything.
We only know what they show us, what they tell us. You know what I'm saying? There are thoughts that people have that they don't share with anybody. So you only have what you've been told, what you see, or your experiences to kind of make some connections. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot lost in translation, you know, and that's why I said some things you just gotta give to God and let Him work them out, because we will never know the why. And that was something else that I heard this morning. We spend a lot of time trying to figure out why this and why that, as opposed to just having faith that God is
We'll work it out.
allowing something and He is working whatever He wants out of a situation.
Yeah, because we don't have a crystal ball. We don't own crystal balls, and we're no fortune tellers. So we have to leave it to God and let it be God's will, not so much ours.
Can I say
Yes.
something to that? Because see, the problem is going to be, no matter what he says,
Right.
the other person's insecurity is just that. Insecurity. You can change a person, whether it's you or someone else, it could be a dog or cat. He still would be insecure until he changed his thinking. It does have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. But you know what you have to do? Boundaries.
Oh yeah.
Boundaries. And that's where you gotta work, hey, whether I separate or what, whether it's friend or not, sometimes you gotta remove yourself. Because if that stuff is happening, then guess what? It's just gonna make it worse instead of better.
Right, good food.
Yes. Let's move on. Thank you. Being defensive, the walls is up. I don't care. Who don't care? How you doing, sis?
How you doing?
Anybody don't care? Who said they didn't care, but you really do care? I said it a lot of times.
Yeah.
I say it a lot of times, but basically I try not to say it if I don't mean it.
Right. There you go.
If
All
I
right.
don't care, I just don't care.
That's all to it. Sometimes we say protect ourselves too.
Yeah.
Yeah, defense mechanism.
We say we don't care to protect ourselves.
Yes.
I got a lot of clients, I say, man, I don't care, but I do.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right.
All the time. I give up. No, I don't. Ever. My hope is still there. Everything is still there. I fight just as hard. But to myself, to protect myself sometimes, I will say, I don't care.
Hey, I don't care if she don't talk to me, but I do care.
I do
Yeah,
care.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
But
just my
a human-
defense
that's a
mechanism,
human
so I
being
don't
in you. That's a
Right.
human being
sense
in
that
you.
heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know, I have to
Protect
build.
yourself sometimes.
Yes.
You have to protect yourself from yourself sometimes.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know what? And I care, right? And see, when you care and somebody don't care, it becomes conflict. It becomes conflict.
That's the reason why I don't care.
It be,
You know, I
it be-
leave it alone.
it becomes
if
conflict.
It's not for me, I don't pick it up.
right. It becomes conflict. All right. So I have to care. All right. How about who's easily angry? Come on. How you doing?
How you doing?
What's your name?
Debbie.
Hey, Miss Debbie.
Hey, Miss Debbie.
You easily get angry? Where your anger come from?
Within, I mean, people take your kindness for weakness.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, you do something, say for instance, you do something once for somebody, they keep coming back,
Your expectations.
keep coming back.
Mhm.
And then,
So, who did sign this? There's a whole lot of people in here that ain't on this list.
and once I've gotten to that point,
Excuse me for a second, Derek. Can everybody say thank you to Derek for paying? Derek not bought the pizza out of our pockets. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
God
you.
bless y'all. All right, no problem. We're gonna start doing every time we show up. All right. We gotta come on, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
so once I've gotten to that point where it starts to irritate me, and then I go from 0 to 1,000.
Mm-hmm. How you calm down?
Sometimes this one, sometimes that one over in that chair.
Okay.
But then I go in my room and I be fine after they say something. But then I go in my room and I'm fueled up all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I see that person in my head, it's saying, I wish that motherfucker would say something to me. Don't they?
I wish he
I'm-
would.
Yeah, I mean, I've changed a lot from the person I used to be. But it's just sometimes here lately.
Now, let me ask you a
These
question.
little things sets me off.
Let me ask you a question. How much time you have?
6 years now.
Hey, all
Right.
right.
Now, is that a opening for potential relapse?
Oh, hell no. I don't have the desire, the urge to use again.
Okay.
And it's nothing or no one.
Because you know
Send me
our
back down
feelings,
that rabbit
we
hole.
use over feelings and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I'm never going back. I'm saying never going back down that rabbit hole.
Okay, God bless
Because I'm the type of person, I'm an extremist.
you. Me, oh, I definitely relate.
You know, so yeah, I mean, it's not good to say you hate somebody, but it's a lot of people I dislike. And it's only because it's only because they still come around me with them dope fiend ways.
Mm.
And like my sister said, I'm tired of smelling the weed. I'm an ex-heroin addict, in recovery. To see somebody walk around and nod,
Get on the elevator.
yes, or I wasn't really a drinker, but to smell alcohol. You know, they have no respect for the next person.
For
Who's trying to
themselves.
say their life, you know what I'm saying? And then when you do speak up, it's hearsay. But when somebody's standing in your face under the influence of whatever it may be, it just sets me off. You know what I'm saying? Don't come around me like that. I don't even deal with family members like that. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't take it from my family, I'm taking it from a nigga on the street or a person up in this building. I'm not doing it. Call me whatever you want. You do something in front of me, I'll let you know. I'm a tell. And I tell them to their face. So, like you say, a snitch ain't a snitch. You know
Not in
what I'm saying?
recovery.
Because I tell you to your face, don't do it in front of me if you don't want me to tell. And I stand by that.
You
I
what you
want
say,
my
you say
recovery.
what you mean.
I love me too much. Like right now, I'm going through some health issues. You know, talking about potential surgery in my back, and that's a lot. That's weighing a lot on me because I can't do what I love to do, and so that took me to a space. But I had to learn to deal with that, and I'm dealing with it slowly but surely. And like right now, I can't do what I want to do, and it makes me angry. But it is what it is.
Dash.
It is what it is.
Check
But
my phone.
this is supposed to be a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? And we got some brothers and sisters in here that don't want to go to staff and explain their situation before it starts. Or when they have that stinky thinking. Because if at any given day, if I even thought I wanted to use, I'm running to that man right there.
Good
Even
man.
though I get on
Good
his damn nerves, I'm running to him.
Let me chirp in here for a second.
Uh-oh, here you go.
Why are you angry?
Angry with me?
No, why are you angry? With all the circumstances that you described, why are you angry?
Because it hurts to see somebody else still wanting to damage themselves
So,
and not want to live.
how do I keep myself from being angry? First, I gotta recognize anger is never, ever, ever, ever the first emotion. So when we analyze what's going on inside of us, we have to look at like where is that coming from. A lot of times our anger is coming from a place of fear, right? Especially when it comes to other people using, because somewhere in the back of our mind there's this fear that could be me.
Oh, every day I think that. Yeah,
So
of course.
when we get angry, especially in the recovery aspect, a lot of it has to do with the fear that's going on inside of me that I can end up back in the place where I really don't want to be. And then that fear keeps the compassion and understanding of what another person's going through from manifesting and saying, hey, let me help you. Even though it may not be my turn to help. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
got you.
So like, I just want you to take a look at where that anger is coming from, because it's not healthy for us to have that.
Oh, I know that, Mr. Lockhart, and I sit in the room and talk to myself all the time, but seeing them the way that they are helps me to stay clean.
Oh, absolutely. But I just want
But the anger's there. I mean,
yeah,
it's
I
there.
just wanted to touch that anger
Yeah,
piece, because
you're
a
not
lot
saying
of
nothing
us,
that I don't already know, Mr. Lockhart. It's just that
but you're not the only person that knows.
I'm not speaking about nobody else. I'm only speaking about
I know,
me.
but I wanted to talk about anger.
Oh,
right?
my anger is
So
my
that
anger.
people can understand. Like, a lot of people think that when we're angry, that's what we are, and it really isn't. A lot of times it's hurt.
I'm the sweetest person in the world, but that anger in me, I have to deal with that. I have
It's
to
not
learn.
directed to you, Dad.
What?
It's not directed to you. I just wanted to use it as
Okay.
Well, I know for me, my anger came, and this is being honest. I was angry because I wanted to use like they were, and I couldn't because I had certain things, stipulations, or certain situations that wouldn't allow me to do that. Plus, I didn't want to go back to that derelict way of living. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted my cake needed too. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to be successful at it. But I knew there was going to be no success story at the end. That was for me.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Angie.
Sorry for coming through late.
Oh, you fine?
So you wanna know, the question is about anger. You know, I get angry, almost on the page of Joel, but I get mad because I can't get high. I don't wanna get high, I just get mad because I continue to see it, and I feel sorry for those that don't wanna try hard. You know what I mean? And I can't, it's not my job to try to reach out to everybody, give them the information I have, you know, and try to walk them through back into where I'm at, because they can pull me down fast. I can pull them up.
That's right.
You know, so I just try to give out whatever information I can. They call me, I listen, I talk to them, you know, they don't want to take advice from them. I get angry when I'm misunderstood. A lot. You know, I get angry when people misjudge me. Or you evil, don't speak to her, she got a frown on her face. Sometimes I'm in a lot of pain. It don't mean I don't want to be bothered. I'm in a lot of pain. And I get angry when other people come in with their bullshit. I don't like bullshit. I don't like nobody bullshit because I got my own shit to deal with, right? I don't want you, if you talking to me, don't come talking to me with a bunch of BS. You're lying. You know, you trying to find the right words to say, because I can see through all that shit. I mean, you know, I'm not done. I've been in the street for a long time. I've been around a lot of men and women. But I just don't like when people misunderstand me. It makes me angry. Because you try to judge me before you even know me. Then once you know me, if you think you really know me, you still sometimes misjudge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be kind and sweet, living and caring, understanding, listen to people. But they'll take it as something else. And it's not that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get angry. So I get angry because the pain I go through. I get angry because the things that I see, you know, and they say change is going to come, but to me, it's taking a long time to come. You been battling with this since the last couple of years.
Yeah, she said about 2 years.
Yeah,
Longer than that.
Longer than that.
And you know, you try to block it out, you try to not feed it to or pay it any attention, but it's hard when it's right here in your face, or on your floor, or it's your neighbor, or somebody like that. You know what I mean? You got to see this shit and you try to help them, they don't want no help. So, you know, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Go talk to staff, maybe they can help you. But a lot of people, I'm trying to realize that they want to sneak and do shit. Like I told them in a group the other day, that sneak and getting high is the worst high you can get.
Absolutely.
That is the
I
worst
learned that the
damn
hard
thing.
way.
And then you get mad when you sneaking and creeping and coming in here and somebody see you in a different way that you left. You get mad because they talk about you. I tell you, yeah, I talk about your ass because you doing some shit that I can't do. I'm mad because I can't do it. Don't want to do it, but mad because I can't do it anymore. And you presenting it in my face, you like you're throwing it in my damn face. Not intentionally, unintentionally. You know what I mean? But they keep coming in and they walk around like they don't have no respect. Like she said, for the next human being in this building is trying to have something. You know, you got elderly people in here that being disrespected because what's going on in the building. You got people that's handicapped. They don't pay them no mind either. You know, so I don't know, it's like you're waiting for something to change, and hopefully it'll change sometime this year, and then this year or next year. But as far as my anger, I work with my anger because sometimes the least little thing can tick me off. You know what I'm saying? How a person come at me and I'm not in the mood. Or how a person want to sex play with me, I'm not in the mood for that. You know what I mean? If I ain't sex playing with you, don't do it to me. You know what I
Said
mean?
sex playing?
Sex playing to me, that's disrespectful.
Okay, got you. I
Right.
understand that.
That's very disrespectful. I ain't coming on you, stop coming to fucking on me. Bottom line.
Right.
You know, if I want you, I say I want you. If I don't want you, then just damn, just move the fuck on. Somebody else. And I ain't the best thing in the goddamn building or in the world, you know, but I don't know. I try to have a relationship with people that I socialize with, that I consider my close friends. Because I have good relationship with people in the building, and I'm close to them, they're friends. You know what I'm saying? And I genuinely, truly love these people, and I wish all the best for them. And it bothers me when they get upset because they see the shit. Then it makes me feel the type of way too, because you just tired. If I want to see that shit, all I got to do, like I was on a bus today coming from North Carolina to my mess, and the whole goddamn strip is just gone. And they tell us, oh, you can move in that new building down there. No, the fuck, I'm not excuse my life, because there's nothing down on North Carolina but addicts. They smoking at the bus stop, laying in the bus stop. They got luggage in the bus stop. They at the stores. I said, man, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna leave here, which is not, it's not bad here. It's just the people.
Right.
But I feel like I'm still in a safe environment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you come in the building, you ain't gonna just come in, walk in, push a button, get up on the floor. That's a good thing about the building. If you ain't got a key card, you ain't going no damn way. So I feel safe about that. But on the outside, when you traveling, when I'm traveling through these, going different places, you know, I just look and it just keeps me at peace. It's like, I thank God, you know. I got 7 years of this, and I'm trying to get 7 more, and after that 7, I want 7 more. You know, and I can do it. And I'm not gonna let nothing or nobody deter me from reaching a goal that I have set for myself. I don't care if I have to be here another 2, 3, 4 years. Shit gonna change. People gonna go out, and new people gonna come in. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with me. If I feel like I'm secure enough right here, and I'm not ready to step out there on my own yet, and if I can't find what I'm looking for, but then come that happen, why jump out there?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Why jump out there? The building not bad. I'm grateful for this building. I really am. I came from jail to something, and I'm grateful for the building because it's a nice building, brand new. You know, you have your own. You don't have people, you know, knocking in on the hallway, smoking crack. And if they are, I don't know nothing about it. But yeah, you're gonna probably do all that stuff. I've been around my own. So it just angers me that people don't want to do better, don't want better for themselves. We can want it all we want. But the main key is you got to want.
Take care.
You got to want to do better.
All right, my brother.
You know what I'm
Good seeing
saying? So I just try to channel my anger other places. Then I just pray, like Deborah said. And I just spend time with my own self. So reflect on my life, what I need to do for me, and you know, continue being with my family, which is a safe haven because nobody, they don't even drink. So, and then you gotta watch the people that you affiliate with. That's the big key, is staying clean. I can't, what I look like messing with you, hanging out with you, and I know damn well every now and again you sipping beer. You know, every now and then you may hit a joint, come around me all high, come on, what's up, where we going, what we doing today? We ain't doing shit. And I tell you, nah, you know, you high, I'm sorry. Don't bring it around me, because you bring it around me, I'm gonna say something. You may not like what I say, but hey, it's the truth. I just hate when people come to me with their bullshit, and they know they wrong. I need to talk to you, I'm depressed. You know, I feel myself falling, I feel myself, you know, going down. You know why the fuck you going down, you know what the fuck is going on. Stop calling my phone. I need to talk to you. I'm depressed. Shit, you make me depressed. Talking to you. With your BS. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. People need people. You know, and the people that need people are the luckiest people in the world.
Oh, wow.
People that need people are the luckiest people in the world. And I know damn well I need people. Without people, without y'all, without people that came to my life, I would be a hot ass mess. Not saying I'll be using, but mentally, you know, because mentally I got some depressions and anxieties and all types of shit going on with me. So if I didn't have people in my life, just imagine how my life would be. Nobody to talk to. Somebody care, you think they don't, but it's somebody that care for everybody. You know what I mean? That's why I say people need people are the luckiest people in the world. And I'm one of them people. Hey, I'm one of them people.
Let's give it to us. Seven
Right.
years, y'all. God bless.
Right.
All right, boom. Because I don't got that much time.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to some solutions. Number one, prayer. Do y'all pray?
Yeah.
How you feel when you pray?
Good.
Feel good?
I feel God.
Very good. Is prayer what heals a lot of these problems up here?
For me, yes.
Very good. How about patience?
Yes.
Who working on patience? Is that important?
Yeah.
That's important.
Yes.
That's important.
What happens when a person loses patience? What can happen?
All of
They become
that
impatient.
thing up there.
They become impatient.
Sorry, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, one thing that I've been taught in life by the old timers and people that's got some time under their belt know what it's all about is that you cannot say that you love God, ask Him for stuff, and then not give Him the time to do what He needs to do. That's a form of patience. That's a form of patience. It's when you standing in line waiting for somebody to cook your food. It's a form of patience that you don't bust out and cuss them out and throw stuff at them so that the next time they see you coming, they spit in that food.
Right.
That's a lot.
God bless. Patience is real important, y'all.
Patience.
That's right. How about humility? Who working on being humble today?
All the
All
time.
right.
Do everything need a response?
No,
All right. Who could be a bigger person and walk away?
me.
Very good.
I can't sometimes.
Okay, you
Just
can't.
get some shit off my chest. I have to walk
How you doing, sis? God bless you. Good to see you. How about forgiveness?
All the time.
Is that important?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Who haven't forgiven themselves? Who haven't forgiven themselves thoroughly? Haven't.
Have it.
All right. If a person who haven't forgiven themselves, can they get high again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can they? Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So we got to forgive ourselves. Easy said than what?
Done.
Very good. How about listening?
Listening is a skill.
Is it important to listen?
Yeah.
Why? Why is it important to listen?
So you can learn.
So you can learn,
Get information.
get information. Very good. How about faith?
You have to have that.
Why?
Without faith in the
Without faith, we're
you
nothing.
don't have faith in them.
That's
You
why.
have to believe in something. Higher power, you believe in the book, you
That's
believe in the door, whatever, but you have to believe some type of faith to get you to life free, not just being in recovery. Faith goes a long way.
that's the important
Believing
thing.
in something goes a long way.
And that's another important thing you just saying, having faith. We talked about it earlier. All that stuff that's going on in here, have the faith that God's gonna clean it up. Because things ain't gonna last for long.
That's right.
God will remove these things
That's right.
in time. But not on our time,
Right.
but His time. It may take a year, may take two.
Excuse me for a minute. I will call y'all to come get the pizza. Trying not to disrupt the group. And I want everybody getting up at one time.
Okay. So that being said, yeah, just be patient. God's gonna take care of all our needs.
I know. Like I said, I did what I was supposed to do. I voiced it, and somebody did try to send a solution, but that solution obviously did not work because the next day it was right back again. So it's not coming from where I assumed it was. But the bottom line of it is, I'm patient.
God's will, not ours.
I'm
How about
patient.
that?
You know, it's going to reveal.
And when He
itself.
removes it, it's gonna remove, and then everybody's gonna know it's removed.
It's going to reveal itself. Watch.
How about integrity?
Mm.
What are we doing when nobody's looking?
Looking, yeah,
Yep,
big one.
Yes. Is there anybody here man of their word and woman of their word?
I am.
Is your yes, yes, and your no, no?
I try my
You
best.
say what you mean and mean what you say.
I sure do.
They're very important.
I try my
Absolutely.
best.
That's connected to what? Boundaries. Who set boundaries in here?
I do.
Yes, you
You
do.
need them in life, period.
Why you say that?
Because people interrupt your world if you don't.
Mm.
People interrupt your world. If you don't have boundaries
Yeah.
in anything, seriously. I even have to have boundaries when it comes to my grandkids, my daughter, and my sister.
Mhm.
I don't have with my mother too much, but my family, yeah, you gotta have, if you don't set boundaries, then people have a tendency
And he
to-
still try to
to
interject.
and you know what I'm saying, and try to help make you do something that you don't want to do, or, just interrupt the world. So boundaries is good, because people go overboard.
That's right.
If I say no, that's what I mean, no, if I say give me my space, doesn't mean give me my space. If you wanna keep coming in my space, keep making up my world, I gotta put some boundaries up, because you're not respecting me.
That's right.
Hurt people, right?
That's right.
And they will definitely interject when they
Yes.
going through whatever they're going through.
How about being creative?
Mm.
Creative. What's that? How's that a form of recovery? To be creative. For those who get bored, how you create life out of boredom?
Oh, got something for us?
Come on.
to work.
You go to work?
Try to be out my own head, my own way. That's my versus problem.
Okay.
Mm. Amen.
I'm doing everything to Donna. Nobody else does it to Donna but Donna. So I had to create something new instead of keep thinking about backwards. I keep pushing forward. Some new ideas, some new thoughts.
Very good.
It's a positive thing. I got to think some positive shit, but still, I had positive feelings, positive actions. It's about your actions.
Okay. How much time you got clean?
Going 7 years.
Yeah,
All right, a lot of time in the room.
God bless you.
It's just like driving down the road. I talk about this all the time where we go. I keep my past in the rearview mirror. So I don't concentrate on it, but I know it's there. So when I know that something's coming up, I take a look at it, knowing I don't want to go back to that. So it keeps me focused on what's in front of me.
But with me, them thoughts be still popping up all in my head.
Intrusive
But I
thoughts.
go stand in the mirror, I gotta talk to this girl and let her know what the fuck you kept doing to you. You gotta stop it, let it go, and let God. But them thoughts be.
So how do you deal with your intrusive thoughts?
No, I don't know no more. Cause my knowing kept me, kept going back.
He said, how do you deal
Deal
with
with your intrusive thoughts.
negative
How do
thoughts?
you deal with them intrusive thoughts? Them thoughts that just come from out the blue.
I go in the mirror, I talk to me.
Okay.
This girl gotta keep changing. Cause I have to react on them thoughts. Yeah, I can go have one that fucking
Oh, I talked about that.
That
Yeah,
one
one.
used to always get me back to. I wanted more.
It's never the third one or the fourth one, right? It's never the third one or the fourth or the fifth one. It's always the first one, right?
How about honesty?
Mm.
Where the liars at in here? Decepticons. Why is being honest? Why is honesty important? Recovery never begins until I'll get what?
Honest.
Very good. Who like to get high? Used to like to get high.
I used to love it. Because
I just hated the
it
consequences.
took me away from what I was supposed to be running towards, away from in the first place anyway. That misery, that fear, that grief. You understand what I'm saying? But after a while, I noticed that what I was getting rid of with the misery and the grief and the fear and everything else, I was losing the most important things.
Me.
Me.
My
family.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying?
Understand.
And that's a trade-off. You can get drunk all you want to and think you partying hard. Get home, something happens that requires your attention, that requires your tears. It's a trade-off. It made me feel good, yeah, and I went out there looking for it. But I realized one day when I looked at my 15-year-old daughter, and I realized that I don't even know who she is. And I had to figure out, why don't you know who she is? It's because you haven't spent enough time with her. You haven't been around her enough. I'm gonna leave y'all with this here. I had a dream one time because it was worrying me so bad about why my life was as miserable as it was with my children. You understand? For 3 days and 3 nights, I had this dream, okay? And it was an awful dream. And I kept on asking God, why, God, why is this happening? And the word came to me, it's because you're feeding their minds and not their hearts. And that's it. That's it. I cried rocks out of my face. You understand what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna sit here and tell no lie about it. This is being honest. I cried rocks out of my face. And I cried. I went to my best friend, my play mother and everything. And I was telling her, and she said, I understand you. I know what you're talking about. That right there was confirmation that I had not imagined what I had imagined. I heard the word because you're feeding their minds. When you tell them, I'll be back, I'm going to bring you this, I'm going to do that, we're going to get this, and we're going here, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? Making empty promises. Stuff that you don't keep because you're so busy on the other side of town. Excuse my expression in here, but ain't no children in here, but you're so busy on the other side of town with that glass stick in your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? And I ain't ashamed to talk about myself because God has brought me a long way in this world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Bottom line of it is, be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with nobody else, be honest with yourself. And stay away from emotional vampires because they will suck you dry.
Come on.
They will suck you dry.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I had to get honest with myself. I mean, my children didn't know me because I did not know them. My people did not know me because I did not know them. And when I did find out some things that I should have been knowing all along, I drew a line of demarcation. And I don't feel bad about it at all. If you want me, you call me on the phone. You tell me you coming over, I'll come meet you if I want you. If I don't, I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm busy today. I don't have time. You understand me? I stay away from certain people, places, and things.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have to stay away from everybody because I don't have to isolate myself. This is my world too, okay? But I have learned that if you're gonna be running your life the way that you figure that it should be ran after you get clean and sober, get honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth about why you are where you are at. Ain't nobody have nothing to do with why I'm where I'm at. You understand what I'm saying? I'm here because I fought like hell to come up out of the misery and the grief that I was in to make my life better. All the perpetrators that run up and out of this joint every day, I don't have nothing to do with them. And the one perpetrator that is giving me grief and misery with that damn smoke coming through my fist right now, I'm praying on you, brother. That's right. Or sister. I done turned it over to God. I'm not going to them no more. I'm not going to staff no more because they tried to solve the problem and it didn't. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's time for me to pray for you and get you out of my life.
Everybody hear that?
Amen.
Awesome. Good food, sis. And the last we're going to leave you on is love. Agape love. Unconditionally loving ourselves. Is everybody there? Agape love. Loving themselves. Why is that important? Why is that crucial? Why is that necessary? Why is that mandatory? To start loving ourselves. Anybody?
I'm never be the right way back then.
You know that, you was on that.
Okay.
But back then, I called myself loving me. You know, but today, I really love me today. It's my life about me now, you know. And I'm showing me the best love today because I ain't harming me, I ain't hurting me, I ain't up in my head, none of that. Because I say, for 2023, and I step with it. I ain't trying to complain and shit. You know, making me feel miserable, making me feel some type of way. I feel good. I love me.
That's good.
Because I can take on your shit, make it mine, and I can tell people, they be like, nah. I got certain people call me up on their own stuff, right? And when they call, I say, my phone breaking up, right? Because I don't want to live. I say, go see a psychiatrist, go see the doctor, go to the hospital. What are you calling me for? But when I was getting high, I had to answer the cancer. I was their therapist, their preacher, I was their lawyer, I was their everything. But today, I'm not. It's about me today. I really focus on me and I'm loving me more and more each day. And I thank the Lord, He's
Come on.
All right.
That's right. Hey, all
All
right.
right.
God bless you.
All the time.
I went through some mess, but today I got a message.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yes.
And that's what I mean. I can show somebody else some love. You know, pray for somebody.
Uh-huh. Love is always action. All right? It's always a verb. All right? So listen, we always come in love and we leave in love. And we want y'all to keep loving one another and love, most importantly, love yourself. All right? And keep praying for those individuals that's still in here sneaking and hiding because time tells on everybody. And then God forbid if somebody had to die for people to really wake up and stop playing with what? Their lives. All right? So come on.
So first, we want to thank y'all because this started off as basically an experiment. Right? Derek seen what I do on when I posted one of the pictures of me doing group online. And he said, "How do I get there?" Right? So because the turnout here has been so good, right? You're now in Anna Cooper. You're going to Bedford, Kerwin House. Belinda Johnson says she wants him at Jeremiah. You know, so as much as it is a success for them, it's also a success based upon your participation in what we do around here at Conway. So you guys have opened the door for other people to receive the kind of help that we provide here. And for that, we want to say thank you.
Thank you.
All right. God bless.
God bless y'all.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
You know, you got something to say before we go home?
I always say I am truly grateful to be here once again and giving y'all the spirit, strength, and hope, and the empowerment that we bring with us to see you guys succeed in this process and continue your journey on a positive note. Thanks for allowing me to share
We
that.
see y'all next month. New topic, same passion. Who woke us up, y'all?
God, grant us serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God's will, not mine, be done. Amen.
Yeah, thank you for the picture.
All right.
Woo. Oh, for next one? All right.
Y'all
Come
have
in
a
quick. All right,
happy,
good.
I mean,
20
y'all
seconds,
have
we
a
come back.
peaceful and wonderful Thanksgiving.